There's more root trees. What was I doing? What was I doing? Let me... These two. Stephanie Landon. Stephanie Landon. What's his name? Brian Jones. Brian Jones. She's politics. Politics. Let me look her up. Stephanie Landon. Stephanie Landon. That's not how you spell Stephanie. 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 Annie? Stephanie. What? 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 Stephanie Jones? Oh, isn't it Jones now? Not Landon. Jones. Brian Jones has been busy updating Stephanie Jones' campaign website. 2 new sections exist. The first is baby photo. There you see a picture of a new family together in the hospital. According to the site, our daughter was named after her grandmother, which ended up being very fitting considering she was born the night before Christmas. Second is what's next. Not much substance there right now, but it lists some small accomplishments and finishes with the recent rise in popularity and controversy surrounding my extended family. There has been some extra attention on me. Stay tuned for announcements in the coming months about how I plan to use the publicity to accomplish bigger and better things. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Baby. It's a baby. Named after grandmother. Which one? Carolyn? I'm gonna guess. Carol. What? Carol? Carol? Carolyn? Oh, E-L-O. E-L-O. No, I'm just gonna say Carol. Carol Jones. I'm gaming. Oh, stop knocking on my door. Oh, it's you.
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life.
Okay.
3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news.
Dubious?
I felt terrible. So I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow.
The company?
The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down.
Who the heck? Confidential?
The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Dense? It's all just a bunch of useless gobbledygook? Well, Santa hat is... gobbledygook. Who the heck are those people? Photo giving you Sam Madsen. A woman named Regina Clementine came to her and claimed that her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Roottrees. The details of this case can be found in your evidence. Stuart is the older boy wearing a vest, and the woman in the photo is Mary Beth Clementine. Who's Regina then? Singer who may have had an affair with Miracle Roottrees. Oh. Her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Roottrees? Is that the husband? Just as a kid? Or is this the husband? Which kid's the husband? Okay. With all his friends have Regina Clementine. From New Orleans. And her husband Stuart Clementine. She wrote me about a month ago. Stuart? Okay. That's Stuart. Wrote me about a month ago. Apparently the Roottrees lawyers went after her since then. By the time I received her letter and called her, she told me she couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband is a police officer and never knew his father. Told her he thought he might be a Roottrees, but he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally I wouldn't be so sure, but she had some pretty credible facts. Some of it I've been able to confirm. Stuart's mother was named Mary Beth Clementine. She was pretty well known in the 30s to 50s, a singer who went on tour to a lot of churches. You can look her up online. She was a pretty big proponent of adoption. I knew for a fact that she came to Butler County a few times. I remember her from when I was younger. Regina said that Stuart told her that they always seem to spend a lot of time at the Miracle Church. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she is. I've attached it to this email. Please consider saving it. Sure. Her name's not Fellows. I don't know what her name is. but I guess it's not fellows. Well, this one's clearly not Miracle because I don't think Miracle is alive. Or even old enough to. Well, this would be Miracle. Preacher. And what? This would be. This would be Mary Beth Clementine. Her. Mary Beth Clementine. Wait, no, that's not her. That's not. That's not. That's. That's not. Prodigy. Wait. That's not her last name though. I hate that. It's like stupid. You. You're the older one. You're the younger one. What is it? Stuart Clementine. Stuart. This is Clementine. Regina. I don't know your last name. Oh, this is annoying. This is a little more difficult with the females specifically. Oh, this guy's Clementine though. Let's look it up. The singer was hot in the years 1942 and 1959. She traveled around the country performing at churches. Her repertoire was a mix of religious and popular songs, and although she recorded a few records, the only one that was a cover of "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," released under the label New. Mary Beth was known for adoptions. She's listed on many sites that mention adoption and the history of adoption. She had adopted 2 children in late. Stuart and Mark. They weren't adoptions. They were her actual children. Spoken of advocate for the benefits of adoption in front of the United States Congress, who were convening to debate and discuss the then recent first adoption of an African American child to a white family in the United States. She was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, according to a single line on one adoption site under unusual circumstances. 1959, it surfaced that Mary Beth has been twice divorced, both times to her manager Sterling. This ended her career with the religious audience. Sterling? Is that a first name? Sterling. Okay. Sure, okay. This ended her career with the songs had been catering while she performed occasionally. Since then, she mostly passed away at a stroke. I think look this up on the music. No? Okay. Anyway, just search this one up. A small record label based in LA that existed for a few years. In the 40s, it raced to release cover records of songs that are gaining high, according to the website about history of recorded sound. It is named after its founder, Sterling Edison. Oh. So she could be Clementine. Edison. Here's Clementine being sued by the state of Thomas Edison in Edison Records versus Edsel. Sure. Find a few references to New Edison and Mary Beth Clementine Edison Records. One collector says that the Holy Grail is a re-release of the Old Rugged Cross. Says that the first edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. She changed her name? She's not Clementine? Another site claims that the police had to be called to New Edison after it only got a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. There is no site source. There's an email address at the bottom of the phrase, "Send me your stories about old Hollywood," and I'll add them to the movie. Old Rugged Cross. Kind of want to do this one though. Was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued, a record producer who called himself Edison, and not actually Edison. Oh, Edsel? Oh, this is just like being convoluted for no reason. His real name's Edsel. Edsel. I don't know. That's so stupid. It's a popular hymn that has been covered by many. You won't find much relevant information about it online. Quaker? However, it listed the artist as Quaker. Mary Beth Quaker. Quaker's her last name. I should just musician. Anyway. I don't know what the kids do. I don't know who that is. I don't know Joanne's last name. that's just a child. That's just them having a child. Huh. Interesting. Who here just has like an extra picture? Chris and Zach and Clark. I guess. Sure, I'll just look up Chris. I don't know, I should probably just look at this. You were given some partial staff records cross-referenced by Sam Madsen. Record are based on tax mailing information only detailed the employees that work directly for Roottrees or in a corporate office. The many laborers on their farms and in their factories are not listed. You're not sure how helpful it will be except for cross-referencing guys, secretaries, and visits overseas. By searching people just because they are listed in these boxes will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. Special management, office staff, Edward Roottree, Elizabeth Cravenworth, Carl Monroe. Secretaries, Joanne Robertson. Robertson. Okay. Dory Mays, Beth Knox. Stuart Todd. Guy husband was replaced by that retiring guy would be taking over to start. They held a retirement party in November. Sports in his final month working. Patrick Desker. Who the heck? Is no longer employed by Roottrees. Ernest Jr. Christine Farrow. No, this isn't, but Joanne. Are no longer. Beth Knox is an interesting one. No longer listed. Christine Garland. Employed. Gwyneth Madsen was hired. Sure. Beth Knox. 50-year bonus. Zach Morgan retirement party. Huh. 50 years. Okay. Took over. This began a person. Staffing. Many travel expenses were listed in guide hand. Replaces Zach. Edward Retreat. Elizabeth Lloyd Arnold. Employed by Raffertunes is now listed as an office staff. It's interesting. Probably an important one. Just to highlight all the women. Okay. Albert Cross and Fred Cross are no longer employed. No longer working. It's Christine. Okay. Like or no, Roottrees. Beatrice were hired. Juliet or no. Lisa Lewis and Valerie. How many secretaries do you need? No longer employed. Sam Cattrall. Huh. Robert Logan is no longer employed. William Shams. Interpreter Susan Ford. Susan Ford. I feel like that's important. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I just want to highlight. Piece of Versus Free Bash, New Year's Eve Ball. Australia, China, France, Brazil. That's a lot of money. That's crazy. Butterscotch, caviar. Oh yeah, it's caviar. Stupid caviar thing. Many new employees didn't tend to stick around very much. The following changes were recorded. Season 4 has been moved to office staff. Huh. Employed by Roottrees. Dang. Okay. Catherine Garrett. Huh. 10,000 a month to develop a flavor. That seems crazy. Grandorf Dove. Oh, death. About an hour from the ridge. But it serves much part of the website was formerly named because Grandorf was the last name of the founder, and Dove is the Danish word for deaf. The founder had issues with government translators, leading to an odd transcription issue. Correct the embarrassing lack of effort and awareness demonstrated by the government officials in those early days. Listen on the website, you can scan through all of and find that the principal, Miss Ford, fluent in 5 language. Okay. Working at school. Miss Ford's bio also mentions she's not deaf herself, but rather learned sign language to communicate with the deaf. It mentions that she was responsible for securing funding for the Hudson Wing. It's a separate, much smaller building, half a block from the main campus. Free ASL courses for according to their history site, they got their name. There's also a very vague history section that you can somewhat fill in with details from other that the donation came from an insistence of an employee of Roottrees at the time. It mentions that she learned ASL from the main school for 100 years to surprise her future husband, who was deaf. After realizing how useful a service like this could that wish to better serve those with hearing issues, he commenced retreatment and she became the first teacher at the new campus. At first it only operated on weekends, but since then it was added after weekdays. Snow cancer. You discover one Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. She had someone to face the school and vehicles outside Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows. One of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. 92. 2 weeks later, there was one arrest. Thomas Hughes, a former student of the school, apparently weeks after he married the school's newest teacher. He was not a teacher when he went. He graduated a few years. That's so stupid. He married the school's newest teacher, Miss Hughes. That doesn't help me at all. It's like, obviously they have the same last name. It's not. What are you like? Whatever. He was not the father of. He was released on bail, and the school has agreed not to press. Agreement was made to pay the damages for the couple. I'll highlight that. The couple again, the divorce proceedings, and seems Thomas. No. Yeah. Yeah. Guess I could. Thomas Hughes. Wait, she got arrested. Should be online, no? Okay. Oh, well. 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 I should probably just finish this. Carl Chico. Well, first few months of that year continued along. Same pattern. I didn't think to quickly change when I ended and all the secretaries were like Sam Madsen left retreat in 1984. I look like I want to play Deadlock? Why would I want to play Deadlock? It sounds like is that what you're doing? You've got arresting. I want to play I don't think that's a thing. Maybe I have resting. I want to play Counter-Strike face. Cuz I want to play Counter-Strike. I want to play Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's a game I want to play. That's a Valve game. Both Valve games. Tomorrow. But Deadlock is made by Valve and Counter-Strike is made by Evil Valve? What does that mean? What does that mean? Counter-Strike is the best tac shooter. Counter-Strike is amazing. No change. Susan Ford. Look at this. Spoilers. Whoa! I beat the whole game. The Russian government has agents playing Counter-Strike to sell knife skins to buy ballistic missiles to use against Ukraine. Well, there's Ukrainian players as well in Counter-Strike. What does that mean? What does it mean? the best player right now is French. Does that mean anything? The second plus best player is Russian though. I think he's 18 now, 18-year-old. Maybe he's 19, I don't know. Some 19-year-old that is like insane at the game. Whoa, this guy had 5 affairs. Whoa. This guy had 1 affair. Whoever this guy is also had an affair. Which I kind of assume it's him? But I don't know. I love Counter-Strike. Scream if you love DE_nuke. I'm going to a concert tomorrow, Ghosty. No friend slap for me tomorrow. No friend slap. What was I doing? How is there 8 things here? June 1999. Should I just like look up Sanchez? Did I already look up Sanchez? I did look up Sanchez. Did I look up her books? I did. I did do that. Wait, Sicily. Oh, is Sicily another? Sicily's one of these people. Seasons had the rights to publish. Okay, I gotta figure this out. Reveals base elbub. Satanic base elbub. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. Base elbub. What? You literally wrote an article about it. Why are you saying it doesn't exist? Plus, this utensil will lose 50 pounds. Whoa. The big sass tea bass. I should probably. Big bass sea bass. You wrote an article about it. Yeah. I dislike you. June 1999. Can I look at like that? I was alive. Whoa. How is there 8 things here? That doesn't. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Maybe I can Guy Hudson it. Hey, Guy Hudson. Oh. Guy Hudson, Guy Hudson. So I just look at Mark Clementine. Crocodile Clementine? The infamy list? What the heck? A lot of others on this. Very small note about him being the basket baby of 19. This comes from his adulthood. Well, he lost a job as a pilot for a regional airline or the wrong airline's plane. He was drunk, trespassing, and assault. My goodness. Pilot? Sure. That's interesting. Charged with trespassing and assault. He was arrested for transporting smuggled animals over the illegal reptile supply in LA. He was for years. He was caught and he had to make it in Portland after he was bitten on the foot by a crocodile. That's the nickname. You wanna know who I'm seeing? I am seeing the Technicolors. Has been added to your photos. In San Diego for Ryan to visit his daughter's graduation. That's the principal. What? Wait. Interesting. Did he dye his hair? Interesting. I can learn who his daughter is, I guess. Billy Sims. Billy Sims, a Princess Canyon High School, who had his 15 minutes of fame in 1994 when he was punched by Crocodile Clementine at a graduation ceremony. Pretty much every news organization, from the trustworthy to tabloid, seemed to have their own take on the altercation. It wasn't the punch that captured the nation, however. Instead, it was Billy Sims' matter-of-fact response to the threat of his comments afterwards, as heard in a now famous audio clip from someone who was recording the ceremony. They saw Mark hop onto the graduate stage. Sure, you'll want to sit down or... At that point, Crocodile Sucker punched him in the face. Billy, apparently only slightly dazed, said, "Alright, sir, I guess we'll have a problem." A wrestling move mixed with bounce, which you got through with. Let's hear right now. How do you do it, Sims? Trust me, I'm as surprised as anyone. That doesn't quite tell much. It's kind of seems they did report on it. You gain a few bits. I was once arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at a company that he was testing. What the heck? What? A bail was paid by Jacobson. It was fairly expensive. Who the heck? Read other students. And the word going around was that Mark Clementine showed up because his daughter Mary was graduating that night. Mary Clementine. Oh. But they staff members at his school, but they hunted down Colleen Webb. Sure. Colleen Webb. Colleen, he met when he worked for an airline. He worked as an airport newsstand. Often have wildness. When he was charged with assault of a fellow pilot in 1975. They divorced at the time. She was pregnant with their second daughter and felt she needed to get out. She left him and moved to live with her sister and told that her dad had to fly planes for the army. She raised them both, and she never went through the training their names legally. They used the web name so that nobody would connect them to her husband. Okay, who the heck is this? That one that legally changed Tostarita. Shell inside. Lucinda? I don't know who that is. I feel like it's important. But who would that be? If it's not connected to them. I don't know. I'm highlighting it. What is that? I want news. Colleen Webb. Do you help me? Do you help me, Colleen Webb? Does this help me? Does this yes, this? Mary Webb. Has a website called Web on the Web. Apparently, oh, diary that also. Or a description of Mary Smith. Okay. Paranormal Travel Agency. Mary found a niche booking vacations for lovers of the strange and unknown. The lost seat. Sorry, not. But fans loved it. What is this? The I would assume this is Mary, but they didn't legally change their name, so is it still Clementine? Or is it Webb? Travel agent, I guess. Don't know what. Is it not? It's quite Mary but Quaker. I'll try Webb. Webb. It's not Webb. I mean, I guess I could marry Clementine. Travel agent. I guess that was the younger daughter. Booyah. I don't know why I have her wrong. I can put that kid there. And went back to this, I guess. All of them. One agent when it comes to booking spiritual vacations aboard ghost ships in specific hotel rooms that are said to be haunted. She has traditional modern cruises that cater to specific groups such as fans of boy bands. In the diary, Not about trips she's personally taken and uses that as an opportunity to feature descriptions and excursions that the ships offer, even when you're on them to see a specific band or ghost. There's also pictures of ships, hotels, and landmarks, as well as a picture of Mary herself. On one of her diary entries actually mentions the day that the photos were taken. She was allowed ship on a port day in San Diego with a professional photo of Mary. She has been. It's gonna be the other person. Unknown. And unknown. Corporate composition photography. Sister or brother, sister. I think I don't know why. I just assume. It's a photography studio that would live in. It seems that it's possible to hire them to take professional quality photos. As you can tell, it appears to no longer exist. The company is also mentioned on a photograph site with some IRC chat logs. It seems like the site is a personal page of a member of an IRC photograph channel. One of them, when Val, the former head of did a QA with their users about the in print ads. Most of the questions and answers are pretty technical. Not only irrelevant, but generally go over your head. One of the questions, however, mentions that Val was on the cover of a telephoto. Asks about Iraq. Quickly shut down by this person running the Q&A. Val does not wish to answer any question from the photojournalist. Does he wish to talk about LBP? I don't know if Val is important. What was it? Back pain, no. It's probably one of the photography. Payroll. Seems to solely mentions Val, an award-winning photographer on the page. It's a business in Beacon, New York, and on the site it has a picture of baby Cam Lincoln reaching for his namesake. I guess he takes after his father, Val. I don't know what the copyright. I guess Cam Lincoln baby. I don't know. Lincoln. Val. Photographist? Or what? Use anchor. Why? Photographer. Why is there a photographer in here? Photographer. Advertising? Sure. Val Lincoln? Can I... Val... Maybe Val Clement. Is that how you spell Clementine? Clementine, yes. I want to look up Lord bras and panties. Oh my goodness. Gotta look that up. What is this? Okay. Are we there yet? I don't understand. Joanna Robertson. Unless she wasn't Joanna Robertson. Oh, she changed her name. Which I thought. Where's this picture from? I don't understand. Is that not what am I missing with her? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know. Let me go back to Clementine Stewart, or Stewart Clementine. Stewart This is one of the many names on him. He's a police. He has no web presence. Well, sure. Police. Where do I find that Regina part? About where she told me. Oh, who is it? She wrote to me. What's Regina? I don't know. I'll just put Clementine because I don't know. It doesn't. Oops. Do I ever gonna find out her maiden name, or does it even matter? Does it even matter? Does it even matter? IRC. What's IRC? Okay. On a telephoto? What? Dude. You've got to be kidding. Cover which feature? Oh. This is Val. Val. What? I don't know. Oh no. I'm confused. Whatever. Is your phone a valid photographer who went overseas? It literally says Clementine right there. What? Photojob. Oh. I quickly found and his free periods to spend more time. He tried to pivot to landscape. If I were lucky when a photographer mentioned a mentor of his was going overseas. Most people wouldn't call it lucky to go to an active war zone. He bought my plane tickets that had never had for someone that even. Oh, Lisa. This is Lisa Clement. Okay, well, interesting. Val and Lisa. Lisa. That. What? Army? Military. Okay. Figured that out. Theoretically, Cam Lincoln. Yes. It's because I don't. It's whatever her last job was. Don't know what her last job. Retail? Public speaker? Professor. Pro athlete. Principal. Preacher. Politics. Police officer. News anchor. Nurse. Model. Musician. Housewife. Interior designer. Hairdresser. Driver. Director. Construction. CEO. Cashier. She's a baby. Actor. Advertising. I don't know. Joanna Robertson doesn't help me. Robertson. Joanna Robertson. Austin Armand. Women were not such. Vehicle had to put when the road ahead. It fell slowly surveyed violently. My Val says I ran into Lisa after snap surgery and took this picture. Then until she shipped. take more picture. I guess it was fate because that's the photo that won me an award. Your magazine also led to my engagement. I don't really. The Gulf War. Oh my gosh, can I? No. Okay. I think there was something else I want to learn here, but I don't know. Oh, I want to look up the sepia. Okay. Ah. I don't know how there can be two more things there, but whatever. I don't. Let me figure this out. What is you? What do you say here? Here, look over there. His mother, Joanna, Morden's secretary when he retired. Because she was afraid for her. One day, his mother never. Oh. I was born to Riley and rap. He tried to find a firm that did work for secretary sometime there. That she died and that Felix went to foster. I also reached out to Um. Ah! Can I like police report? Police. Report. Like if it's the last known job, right? Last known job. She was a secretary. She quit. She left. And she worked in retail. No, she was a hairdresser. Because she was totally a firefighter. She was a druggie. Dancer. Chef. Cashier. Baby. Author. Artist. Architect. Actor. Secretary was her last known job. I don't understand. What am I missing? Military? I don't know. Housewife? She was military for all I know. That's a baby. Kind of ugly baby. Said he's a police officer. Stuart Clementine. Brother, please. I don't understand. What am I missing? How? Butler. Nope. Modern. Nope. News. Pico D. Silver Screen. Starlet. Teen Blast. Telephoto. Brother, how is this wrong? Oh, you want Robertson? Joanna Robertson? Robertson. Nope. 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 No. I don't know how do I have it wrong? It said that's her last name. It literally says that's her last name. It says that's her last name. Robertson. Secretaries. Joanna Robertson. And then she married. Joanna Robertson changed to Fellows. I don't understand. And she's a secretary. I have her picture. I have her name. And I have that she's a secretary. Duh, duh, duh. I have this guy, Stuart Clementine, a police officer. His picture, military. Lisa and Cam is a baby. Those are all right. How? What? 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 Mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia. That's her name. That's her job, and that's I mean, his name doesn't matter. Where's the what? Cam Lincoln, baby. Cam Lincoln, baby. Val Lincoln. Lisa Clementine, military. Unless she's not military anymore, but that wouldn't make sense. Stuart Clementine, police officer. Should I just Lisa Clementine? Lisa Clementine. I don't know what you want from me. Telephone. Not. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, what am I missing? I don't understand. What are you? Did I not do that? Did I really not do that? I thought I did that. What? Anyway. How does this help me? Oh. Wind's ultimate as well as kind of. What does this help me with? I should probably look up Anonymom. Slept with Guy Hudson and people. Joint press off both cheese parties. You had already been given. Suspend all of your demand. Doesn't mean that. High profile. There's think that like any fad, it just ran it. 6 pieces. Your does not appear. Huh. Interesting. Unless you wished. reach out to other women hired at the same time. The reporters were able to reach out to other women hired who also fact checked the timeline of both women reported this case was strengthened in news stories. Guy died nowadays. She assumed things had run their course. She went back to work. Father walked out one day and never came back. After seeing the fantastic article, she wasn't the only one this happened to. Well, at the Roottrees got at the same time. She knew Felix would tell her the truth. Longer was present woman. Was it that these words another substance she claims she slept with him at one of these parties. And they came to an arrangement on a recurring basis. Oh, was huh? Caviar. Oh. Caviar was Joanne's child. Joanne's child's caviar. Sugar plum? Sugar plum. Dang, who got the extra amount? Howdy. Those are only... Oh, butterscotch. Oh. Was there a butterscotch here? $79 butterscotch got added. Interesting. That's very interesting. That's why it's $10K a month. That's crazy. $10K a month he was paying these women. $10K a month. I don't know what I'm missing here though. Cause she was military. Cam Lincoln's baby. That's a baby right there. Clementine Stewart Clementine is a police officer. And this lady was a secretary. I don't know what I have wrong. What do I have wrong, Lon? Some of his music could be helpful. Huh. Everything. It wants me to... Root of all evil. Boom! All your problems. All your problems. Boom! I should have probably read what that... Can afford not to be greedy. Okay. What's...
Attention, attention, Roottrees. This is 5-piece coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all
Man,
your
y'all are hypocrites, sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it, based on your family's creations. Yo,
But looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick.
and her two dads. My pappy's class of trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing, catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners, cause we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people.
How long is the song, brother?
While real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan how your mansions and Porsches are actually horrible.
How I'm better off penniless, grasping for morsels. I wanted my share.
That's actually extortion. With your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets. The only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's.
Top off my pockets, please.
Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtrooms, decorum. I way past your fancy ass dormant.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Bring the choir in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Yeah.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon thieves, you're the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon thieves, you're the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the
How's that? How does any of this help me? Extortion. Portland. Let's look up Portland. Tell us. How does this help me? How does this help me at all? How does this help me, Doc? I'm annoyed. I'm suspicious. Anyway. But re-record was only record different. After drawing a single. To sue the family to date. Doesn't seem like. After. To a splash, but Whitlock no said that. And a few. Which increasingly. Should I look up Stevie Whitlock? Does that help me at all? Stevie Wonder? What? Dang, Stevie Whitlock won because they said it's 12 inches, but it's only 11.5 inches. They're ripping people off. Oh, brother. $14.5. What? I want it to be opened up, top. How does any of this help me? None of that helps me. It's just here. Like, it doesn't even have a thingy here. No, that didn't help me at all. None of it helped me at all, Lon. See this? No, that's off stuff. Secretaries. Joanna Robertson. Joanna Robertson. Secretary. Secretary. That's her picture. Then why did it not work? Can you answer me that? I'm the banana man? The banana man cannot be correct? What's your hint? I don't want to look into it again. What? Why would I do that? Huh? What? Huh? Do I have to... What does it mean, look into it again? I already figured out what is. Like, the fancy flavors are the 5 women that he had affairs with. I figured that out. Is that like what it's trying to tell me to look up? I don't. The fancy flavors. I don't know what you want from me. That's her name. That's her job. That's her. That's his name. That's him. That's his job. That's her. That's her. That's. What do you mean, dude? Go over the most important people and evidence from the last investigation. I should go into the reminders. Saying reminders are important. Okay, reminders. Let's read the reminders. I didn't read it because it's all that blobbity bloop. Maybe relevant to your new ones. From before still available in your Butler County, Pennsylvania. Should I search that? No, that for some reason doesn't give me anything. This is new? Does it want me to re-look up Roottrees sisters? Do I have to like make my brain forget everything and have to, or remember or look up everything again? Ugh. I look this stuff up. Did I not? I did not look this up. Why is that? Okay. I don't. Why is this? Maybe unsatisfied by. What? I felt like the idea. I wish that neither of those events had and their parents into religion of poverty. I guess I could. Chris Rafferty. Can I look up Chris? No? Did he not go to that school? I don't know. I just like sped through that. Lauren Roottrees? Should I look up this person? Excuse me. Huh. That's what? Okay. I don't want to look up everything again. There's so many different things. Anyway. What does them being on the cover of magazines have to do with anything? Best of album got released. Yeah, she's like, I know this. I don't. Why is it important? And led to. Sure. I'm fine. Okay. Seemed to have been discovered by a massive gone. Are you son? Yes, but I didn't grow up with him. From when I was a little kid, but I moved away with my mom when I was very young. We left Pennsylvania. We lived with Pete, my stepdad. My dad and I spoke a few times when I found his phone number on a check. He sent us in the mail. At 15, he was happy to hear from me, and now he called me once and came to visit me at college. He tells me about things I don't remember, and people like Guy Hudson or my dad and I get along, but obviously we aren't very close. I used to know the Roottrees, but never the sisters. I was in the office sometimes when I was a kid, and I definitely met Guy Hudson before he died, but I don't remember. My memory is weird. It's hard to know what I actually remember and what I only think I do, because, for example, I have a photo from when my dad and Guy was there. I was sick by eating chocolate, and some woman who I don't know cleaned my my memories of that come from a picture or not. The photo has been added to your evidence. Huh. That photo has been added to my evidence. Oh, people. People. Chris has a photo of him, his father. Distracted, he's his father. I don't know who the lady is though. Where is Bear? I don't know. Seems like he's been going through it recently. We're all depressed. Everyone's depressed. One of those. I asked him about the poison because some stuff including the proof, but even the proof the website didn't take. The chemtrails are making us depressed. Probably. Society. Can someone just set me on a blind set me up on a blind date? Thanks. Thanks. You can? I don't want a Tinder. Tinder and a blind date are two different things. You'll just tell me when and where. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, but the whole thing of a blind date is that it's like you have one person in common that set you up, and they know both of you. But you don't know the person on Tinder. 30 minutes. Uh-huh. You do not like, okay. Sure. That's not what was it really difficult? What does that have to do with anything? Okay. Go to... I could look up Brother Trouble again. No. But I think... Should I look up the Clan's Trust? Did I get this stuff already? Fine from before it. Firm. PR manager. I don't know how this is relevant at all. I don't. And her father were cryptically in a huh. Did I even find that? In the what in the who? Big guy, big guy, big guy. It's just like the fact that I have to look through things again that I found is just annoying. It's just annoying for me. It's a little bit annoying. What? Why is that? Okay. Offer only redundant information during mentions the subject of affairs. True love. Jake and I married at an age that seemed unfit for marriage, but he was also enlisting at an age that was unfit for war. I knew it in my heart that it was one for the ages. For Okinawa. weird, but there was an emptiness in my soul. I did not understand why there were so many girls at school. Would have taken multiple lovers, so many girlfriends. These have been unfaithful, and I am able to remain true to the ghost of a man. With no chance of physical relationship, no potential for long. How could it be so hard for someone? I've not. Man, oh, okay. Guilty of the perfect fifth. Intern pop stats and nails her. But nothing's thicker than lies. You see your kindness as a weakness. Not even our family. I go the I in miracle. Say without a doubt in my mind that my parents have never had Sure. Oops. I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all. What was the... I don't know. I don't remember the other book. Ouch. Would have spoken. Who's Caroline Ward? Her? I guess you would have. Oh, computer. 40. I've never really failed this. I did surprise me. Talk about the time during my stealing the spark plugs out. Yes and no, they never on a farm, if that's what you mean, but I was already pretty unpopular, and once everyone learned, few people paid me. She's my wife, not legally, but we've been together for half our lives. What it is, I was 20 and I had just had my daughter. I hate to look back that time because I was a terrible mother. The first few years I left my daughter with my ex. Jet to Europe. He lost a tooth and a client. Found love and a better understanding of who I was. Still, in our family's eyes, this trip was somehow more acceptable. Huh. Yeah, our family wrote off his behavior like he was some huge fan of romance or women, but he didn't like the entire women. It was doubly awkward for me because he was more supportive than most. I slowly figured out it was because he assumed I would be as shallow as he was. He's a workaholic. He seemed nice enough and did a good job. I didn't know him well. I was one of Sam's problems with our family. None of us did expect Carl. What? Unless, with Carl, all I can say is we used to be friends before they sent him to. He came back a lot judgier. Made sense when they made him president. He was a lot like my father after they disciplined the fun out of him. They're protesting the farm. He's not. Oh, well, he's hard to label. When I was a teenager. Why don't they have the questions here? That's just so annoying. What? Why wouldn't they have the questions? Why does it have to? It's being extra vague for no reason. Yeah, they used to sell me pot. But he never really touched me. He knew it would. Then he was destructively unreliable in every way, but nowadays just kind of boring and old for that's how he used to be. But it's still a fact. I hope I'm never boring and old. Who are you talking about? Why didn't they just add the question? That's actually infuriating. If there's a transcript, you would include the question being asked. Whatever. It's not me. That one he was sent to. Uh-oh. Huh? What are you talking? What? Huh? Revisiting a diary 10 years later. Trying to figure out why the dial-up sound was playing. Oh. Yeah, your computer's actually connecting to the internet right now. How is this not okay, whatever. Nice. Is AOL even still around? I feel like there's like a chance that it is. I don't know why. I don't want to look at the old information. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to just spam search everything I've already searched up. This is can't. Have been also been those who have argued that his right to decide how to split the hand. This has led to some heated television issues. Only used to be a positive. However, as some religious and political groups decide to visit Chester. Shut down, but has no date listed. The quotes from Bess Williams' book appears to have been taken down. Who's Bess Williams? I don't even think I looked this book up. not sure if it tells you anything. If you ever have a child, I will gift it a drum set. Why? Why do you want my child to be a drummer? Huh? Do I have more of these people wrong? I don't understand. Torment the parents? That's toxic. That's toxic. That's toxic. I don't. No, I don't. No. Not far from. Hit redundant. What? Why? Is that her? An art book. Do I need to? Why am I looking at all these? Bess Williams. Okay. I have to wait until the summer sale to buy the rest of the RE games.
Sam reached out to me finally. I think I have you to thank for that one. My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, everyone is fighting over the trust. The majority of us want to dissolve it. On paper, it seems like the right decision. The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated. More than a few Roottrees are worried about losing their wealth.
Okay.
I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters, even my son, who I hardly ever get to see. I want to keep them safe and secure, but I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune. Hell, I probably deserve it less than most. It took me way too long to get my life together. Okay, enough about me. Here's the deal. I can't stop the majority from voting one way or another. If you keep passing along potential Roottrees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics. It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA. What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
Okay. See, how do I have her name wrong? It's Lisa Clementine. She's in the military. That's her picture. How is that wrong? And how is this wrong? I don't understand. I don't understand how that's wrong. I mean, that's wrong because how am I supposed to find out her last name? I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. Do I just change it to housewife because she's a housewife now? Do I change this to dead? She's dead. She's a druggie. Is there a druggie? Drugs. No, there's no addicts. It's not an occupation. Also, I don't know her last name. No occupation? What are you talking about? Everyone has an occupation. Even the baby has an occupation. It's called being a baby. Was used by live my life LARPing. That's 1970s. At first glance. What? That's not what I copied. Dress, what would you wear in the 70s? Why do you want to dress like it's the 70s? You'll fit, but I can tell you it'll be 100% cotton. I'll keep my PC and game. That's not. Video games and PCs weren't in the 70s. They're far out. You're just gonna like treat it like alien technology. The aliens gave you your PC and created these games. I'm talking 2020 plus tech. I see. I have to look up the company picnic. How does that help me at all? This? The company picnic? What is that? What? It's the company picnic. I don't. Roottrees family picnic. Sure. Okay. What does this have to do with? Yeah, it's. Okay. Was a cashier? What in what in the huh? How is she a cashier? He's. Did I miss that? Was Zach a secretary? Hello? That's so stupid. Whatever. 6-piece notes? I didn't really read this. To be fair, I didn't read this. Very much not family. It was an oversight within the family. That guy is very much not a family. Many of their hires at the time were young, single women. A lavish amount of money on private parties. That most of its here. Who Sam never met, but who worked one of Guy's secretaries. Like caterer. daughter from a local restaurant called met her daughter on a guy's party and they eloped quickly due to her pregnancy. Unaware that the party was for swingers, rumor was that her daughter showed up with the guy and didn't see him come to Huh. Okay. But whatever, I don't even. Huh. So, at least one to open a fact. Oh. First invite Sam to. Wow. Sam always got was able to course to license using some kind of being a natural course of events. She mentioned or none. Sometimes about. Who's Beth? Mon-Sat Elizabeth. Okay. Huh? You heard of this new band Fleetwood Mac? Okay. Yeah, I listened to all of Roottrees, sorry. I listened to this guy named Skrillex. Give Skrillex a listen. He's from the 70s. At the cinema? Are you gonna wear suits to the cinema and wear suits on airplanes? Because isn't that what they did in the 70s? Maybe not to the theater, but at least on planes, didn't they? I don't know when people stop wearing suits onto airplanes. Oh, you've never been on an airplane? I did not realize. How are you gonna go to Disney without going on an airplane? Being on in a being in a helicopter before being on an airplane, it's crazy. Okay, I think I just need to look things up. I'm getting lazy. I'm getting lazy. Stop being lazy. I am being lazy because I'm annoyed. Yeah, sure. Well, you've been in a helicopter, but it wasn't flying. I don't think that counts if it's not flying. Flew to some place and they got food. It's like, hey, want to fly to go get food? Husband Steve, who is a Steve Garland. John Doe. Yeah, if I'd be like the. It's $200K to get your pilot's license? That seems crazy. Oh, you have to rent planes to do all the training and stuff? They don't just like, here, you can borrow this plane. Oh, they grew apart when the rest. Moved to Boston. Why was I reading my phone? What was he? This is probably... Christine or Steve Garland. Steve Garland. Steve Garland. Yeah, not, or I guess, but I don't think. Definitely didn't just apply to flight school. It's out of. Did you just apply to flight school? I feel like pilots' jobs are brain dead now. I mean, I think pilots' jobs in like the big aircrafts are basically brain dead. Yeah, I think they do just fly themselves for the most part. But I mean, you're flying like all the time and going all over the place. Yeah. You'll be flying like small planes. Find yourself a flight attendant and marry her. Christine. Oh, Christine Farrow. Christine Farrow. That's... Did you see that recently a pilot got caught with a passenger while the flight was midair? No, I don't think I did. And nah, they were just kissing. They were just kissing. Nah. He found out she was a doctor and asked her to look at a mole on his back. To work action. Well, I don't. Steve Garland. Steve Garland. That's not how you spell that. It's one L. Steve. Christine. That's not how you spell that. None of these people you can look up. Someone, but no, think about it, pilot's job. Yeah, the only thing that really matters for pilots is when takeoff and landing, which those are like 95% automated. You just have to work with flight control to. You just have to work with flight control for when you can land and when you can take off. And I guess you probably have to like pay attention to just weather while you're flying, maybe. I don't know if that's like a thing that pilots pay attention to while they're flying. And it's yeah, I guess that's true. You do fly above the clouds for the most part. Well, I mean, I guess it's like a factory job, like at an automated factory, like a soda factory. You just monitor the machines. I guess you kind of do that with the plane. But I would also want to learn how to fly a plane, just because. I have said that before. Wanting to just learn how to fly a plane, just because. And also be like, hey, want to go on a date? I can fly us in a plane. I mean, that seems kind of sick. I'll pick you both up. And why at heli? I feel like there's like additional stuff with helicopters that I mean, it's a bigger flex, sure, but I think flying a plane is a pretty big flex in of itself. that having a helicopter flex, I think it'll just be like you're flexing too hard, maybe. I don't know. Many years before Puffy. Yeah. I mean, that would be something. That would be a little crazy. Can I just search up Boston? He was a chef. Even pay for some people to pay for people. What the heck? She'd be like freaking out that people are chasing us into a field. What in the world? And then we get in the helicopter and it's flying off, and then all of a sudden like 5 people jump out with cameras and say, "Oh, you got pranked." Get pranked. I don't know what I'm trying to look up here. What do you want me to look up, game? Like... Like you're not... You don't help me at all. Oh my goodness. Secretary. I don't know. But maybe like in normal. So, like, what do you want? Mention an owner? I thought. Yeah, mention an owner. What do you want me to look up? Oh, I thought I did that. Mark Zimmer. Mark owned a local bookstore called Bookmarks. He was sued by Steve Garland. That's interesting. Mark Zimmer. How do I... Does it want me to... Oh. based off of recipe. What in the world? What? It literally just said re-release as garnishing the truth. What? Okay. Sure. This is a website. What is that? I just focus. If you switch out the salt layer, 2/3. Oh my goodness. One story. I grew with a friendship. Adored her rosemary cheese. It was like conscripted to bake the army's bread. Flora's tears began. Saw her as she asked. 10 to 12 years later, that unique dough had earned her a position as the had found success as well. It was It felt as if she was torn too. She had not been made aware of the gift had already prepared prepare for a return, but he shared the fear. He knew it. All they worked together to the okay. Sure. Let me just what's the timeline on AI replacing pilots? I don't know. gonna tell me the. How to? I mean, yes, but how do I look that up? Sue Mark Zimmer Zoo Sue lawsuit, but the game doesn't work that way. Lawsuit. Doesn't work that way. I don't. This second part is just, it doesn't. Can I look up garnishing the truth? Like, hello? So Garland and Zimmer? How do I... If it was Garland and Zimmer, how do I... And? How do I do a 2? That's crazy. Okay. Sure. Thank you for everything. Your support means you're apple of my pie. Thing. James and Robert. You prove this. For we sell in court, we sold it. Oh, for a game of darts. Anyway. They made. Okay, whatever. Okay, for which the site has this. Stevie G. His kids fry die. Wicked overrated. Okay. Like Fry Die owners. Who's the owner? Is that? Okay. Do 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 do. I'm getting tired. I am getting tired. I am getting tired. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna go. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I am sleepy. I am going to bed. Good night, Lon. Bye, stream. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.